Hey guys, so a couple of years ago I went to Cuba, made some local friends over there, and one of them is Alex. Alex is a very cool and very ambitious guy that's been living in Cuba, in Havana, his whole life. And recently, a few months ago, Alex managed to leave Cuba and started his new life in the US. So when I was on my way from Poland to Buenos Aires, I decided to make a short layover and visit him in Miami, check up on him and see how he's doing. And we ended up recording a short interview. So if you guys want to hear about his first impressions, his goals and what he already achieved in the United States after being there for such a long time, feel free to watch the rest of the video. Latino vibe everywhere. It's crazy how I feel like it's impossible to survive here without speaking Spanish. Like, it happened already to me like 3 times that I wanted to ask someone something and they're like, Papi, español.
Yeah, sometimes like you want to practice English and people are like, I don't want to speak English.
How does it feel?
Well, now after 4 months, it feels okay. The first few days, few weeks, it was kind of a shock. You know, I was in shock because it's completely different.
Because you spent like 31 years of your life in Cuba.
In Cuba, yes.
Most of the time in Havana, right?
Yeah.
So we met exactly 3 years ago in Havana.
Yes, correct.
So what has changed in Cuba since I left?
Cuba has been like getting worse. Remember that we went to the lines to buy chicken and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So now it's almost like there's no chicken. The only places where you can actually buy is private places. You gotta buy in those places by using or USD or MLC.
There was a huge hurricane here in Florida, and I think it went through Cuba, right? So
Yeah.
are you in touch with your family? Do you know what's happening over there right now and
Yes,
what's
yes,
the situation?
But before the hurricane, there was like a blackout situation because the problem with Cuba is that Cuba doesn't have enough petroleum or diesel. Plus, the power plant, the one that gives like energy to the entire country, was broken. So, and it was 1 day, then 2 days, and almost like 90 hours
Before the hurricane.
before. And then with the hurricane, they were like, oh, now it's a hurricane, so we're gonna have some blackouts. Cuba's always in crisis, and it has been like that for so many years.
It's better if we're just gonna sit down, I guess, so we won't have to walk around. I think it's recording, is it? You see?
I don't see shit.
So when we met in Havana, you told me that your biggest dream is to come to the United States.
Yes.
And since I left Cuba, I've read a lot of news about Cuban exodus, people just leaving Cuba, the biggest amount of people just escaping the country and everything. What ways Cuban people are usually taking to leave Cuba? Because I remember you told me you are willing to do everything, that you will get to the United States no matter what.
Back then I had 3 options. I could wait until I get my Spanish papers. You know, I've been waiting for that Spanish citizenship for a long time. I could sell my place, my house, and then go through Nicaragua, all these countries, Mexico, and then come here.
But how did it look like? Because from what I understand, you as a Cuban citizen, you could go to Nicaragua, right? But Nicaragua and United States is far away from each other. So how would it look like?
It's a crazy experience. It's like you gotta be hiding, you gotta be hungry most of the times, and it could take like months to get here.
And it's also crazy dangerous.
Yeah, of course. So you don't know where you're gonna be in the jungle, you're gonna be in a crazy house, or you don't even know. So that was another option, or I could wait for the one that I got, which is the humanitarian parole. Basically, it's like a person here in the US, they ask for you, but they need to prove here that they can maintain you. If you get accepted or approved, you're gonna be here in the US for 2 years. So you're gonna get your papers, your work permit, so you can work, make money, and then you go back to Cuba. In this case, the Cubans, we have a benefit, which is we can come here, and after a year, you can apply for being a resident. Once you're a resident, 5 years later, you can be an American. There is a law here for the Cubans, is the La Ley de Ajuste Cubano. It's like, basically, you can stay here just because you're Cuban, and you're like getting out of the communism and all that shit that you know.
So Uncle Sam is accepting you as, oh, come on, son, this is capitalist country, you're escaping from communist country, so you're like a refugee from a communist country. Okay.
And actually, so many Americans, they're not agree with that because you come to their country and you have a lot of benefits that they don't.
What kind of benefits?
Like, for example, I got health insurance that so many people have to pay for it. is completely free for me during this time. They give me cash. It's not like super amount of money, but at least it's enough to survive if you wanted to.
So what kind of money are we talking about? From the government? Is it like monthly? Okay.
It's gonna be like $200.
$200 a month. Okay, it's something, right? Like
You can buy food if you want.
the visa you got is because you have people that send documents to the US government and they said like, hey, this is Alex, we want to bring him here. We're gonna give him shelter, don't worry, we have money to provide for you and stuff like that, right? But it's not the option that was always there, right? It recently has changed that you guys can leave.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if that's going to be, now that Trump is going to be the new president, I don't know if they're going to be like, probably he's going to cancel it. My mom's in Cuba, but I don't know if they're going to say, I'm sorry, you didn't make it.
But do you think it's possible once you get the residency here to bring her as your family member? Like,
yeah, once I'm resident, I can ask for her, but it's going to take a long time, like probably years. I need to find another way. 3 days before coming here, I was talking to my girlfriend and her father, and we were talking about that. He was asking me, what if you get the parole approved? Are you leaving? I was like, that's not gonna happen, I'm not leaving. 3 days later, I got approved and I was like, oh shit. My body was shaking. I was like, oh my God, this is happening, bro. And when you see that, you're like,
just 3 days ago, you were like, I think I'm not gonna get it, so I'm...
Actually, I go home, my girlfriend was like, what's happening? What do you have that face? Because I wasn't even happy. It was like, oh my God, I gotta leave you here, gotta leave my mom. You know, all the problems that would come with that. It's like, oh my God, I'm not ready. You know, I didn't have any penny to come here. It wasn't even planned. I spent like a month in Cuba, like doing all the paperwork, all stuff. But during that month, I was like in shock. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. When I got here, the first thing that I got was Starbucks at the airport. My friend Alexa, she bought me one. She was like, welcome to America. And it was like, descanecingao. You can say whatever, bro. You can, I mean, freedom is something that you feel right away once you land here in this country. I mean.
So for all these years, you were even considering taking the most dangerous route to go to the United States?
If I had to, yes.
And all it took was what, 45 minutes flight and you arrived here? How did it feel? Because for me, you know, while we've been in Cuba, I've been saying that a lot, that I feel so bad for Cuban people because it's not like you are in a land, you're not, you know, in a mess of lands where you can just go to another country, even through the jungle or through the forest. You are on the island and there's no easy way to leave, right? All these years of like dreaming about US and just doing everything to get there, 45 minutes, bro.
In 4 months, I've done like more stuff like in 30 years in Cuba. I'm kind of ready, you know, I speak English. I know all the things that I've been doing here is because I've been like getting ready for it. At the same time, it's kind of shocking because there is a point when you come here, like you're doing, and when you call your mom or you call your friend, whatever in Cuba, you see the same. It's like, stop. They don't move forward.
I have this memory where I wanted to hang out with you in Havana and you told me that today you cannot because you have to wait the whole day for the number for the chicken and then the next day to get the chicken. Like I remember that and I'll remember that for the rest of my life, bro, because you know why? When I'm traveling and I'm meeting people and we just have a brief conversation there on the streets, I understand that they're like, they live their own lives, they have their own problems and everything, but when we met, you're a guy with the camera, you've been doing podcasts, you're like editing video, you have like a, you know, like Western mentality, you speak English, you have like the, you know, like the ambitious of like how many podcasts are there in Cuba? None, right? I had a feeling that we were from the same world. And then when you told me you have to wait, you know, 20, 30 hours to get a chicken, like it just got to me. There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't have to go through. So I understand that in Cuba, it's hard to move on and hard to develop and hard to, you know, change your life and everything because you don't have too many opportunities, right? If you're struggling to get basic things like food, right? Or even water. Remember when me and Bartek were walking around for hours because we were afraid to drink the tap water? And, you know, we went to a pizza place that was selling only water because there was no food, no pizza. They had only water. So, you know,
I love, but it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And you've been in that for your whole life. And now you go to Walmart, you can get the app for McDonald's and you can get free food every day. Like literally for 50 cents, you're gonna get a Big Mac with the promotion. What were your first impressions?
Same day or?
Yeah, same day. The moment you landed, you touched the American ground with the airplane.
Everything was very like flashy, There was light everywhere. Cuba's very dark. People were treating me like very nice. Alexa told me all the time, don't be nice with people. People are not nice here. But with me, coming from a country like, people are like, hey, what do you want, blah, blah, blah. And here like, hello, sir. That's simple. I was like, oh my God. When I got into Starbucks, I was like, fucking menu with 1,000 types of different coffee. She was like, what do you want to get? I was like, coffee? I don't know, I just want coffee. The cars, technology. When I got into the city, I was looking at everything. Everything is like huge. All the sound is completely different, bro. Another word at 90 miles, it's right there.
Yeah, it's literally 100 miles from Key West, right? And it's a completely different world. When you woke up the next day, did you have a feeling like, oh fuck, it's a dream or something? Or
I had that feeling for the first week, bro. It's like, I'm gonna go to my place, I'm gonna sleep, and next day I'm gonna be like, actually wake up and, oh, okay, it's happening. It's like, have you ever had that experience?
Yeah, I had this kind of experiences when I started traveling, when I went to the US for the first time. And I was working here. It was my first time working abroad, learning English and everything. Every time I was like, is it really happening? Am I really in the United States? It's like, it was always my dream.
You cannot describe that. You gotta live it. And the first days, my mom was calling me 24/7. Like, hey, how are you? Show me, send me pictures. I get used to it, very quickly. Like, okay, this is good, this is happening, I want more.
It's been 4 months, right? You already have your own company, you're already hiring people, you already create content for other people. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you've been here for 4 months and you have achieved already so much, like you're working so hard. So a Cuban guy comes to the United States. After a week, he already has a driver license. He already has work permits, ID, everything. He's opening his own company. What the fuck, man?
I don't know, bro. A week before coming here, everyone was like, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be working in McDonald's. You're gonna be earning minimum wage. It's gonna be tough, bro. Get ready for it. And I was like, it's not gonna be tough. This is tough. And I'm living well. There's a lot of opportunities here. I was like, okay, what if I go to these places, like storage places, so you can rent a place? And I went in eBay. I was like, I can start flipping couches. I buy a couch, I rent the place. It's gonna be like $200 a month. You buy the couch, you clean it, you flip it. What else? How much is cleaning a pressure washer machine? $500. I'm gonna buy a pressure washer. I'm gonna start knocking doors and cleaning. I'm gonna make money. Or my friend Alexa, she was like, I can find you a job in a store. It's gonna be $15 an hour. And I was like, yes, okay, we can do that. But never happened. In one of the few days that, the first days that I got here, she was like, come with me, I'm gonna be the friend. And then I met Vanessa and Jose. It was like, bro, I'm looking for a guy who makes YouTube videos and stuff, because I want for my business, create content, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm the guy. It was like, I'm only gonna pay you $20 an hour. I was like, whoa, that's a lot, bro.
Man, $20 an hour, first job, first week in the US.
And I was like, okay,
wow.
when are we gonna start? Within the first 15 days working with Jose, I got a call from another person and said, hey Alex, I know you're doing social media and stuff, I wanna hire you. So I got my second client. Bro, okay, my company is not for me, but my company is making $100,000 a year. And I just got here, Of course, I had 2 people that are working for me. I have to pay salary, I have to pay taxes. So I'm not living the life. But it was
man, you got here 4 months ago, seriously.
I know.
4 months, it's just
I'm
crazy.
thinking if I can multiply like that, and I know that I can do that. America is waiting for you. It's not you're waiting for the opportunities in America. You have to go for it. I know that I have my mom in Cuba. She needs to be here. My girlfriend is coming. I need to be ready. I'm living in a 2x2 room. That's it. I don't have a bathroom. I don't have anything. I gotta use the house one. This is a palace, And I gotta be here until I don't know when, because I need to make a lot of money. And some people will be like, oh no, I'm not going to America to clean houses. Why not? Because in Cuba you were doing what?
Yeah, but you came here with the mentality already that you are here to kick asses and chew bubble gum, and you run out of the bubble gum, right? So no, it's just crazy. That's why I wanted to talk to you, especially because it's interesting to see everything from different perspectives. Because recently, I just talked to my friends from New York. They said they're considering coming back from New York to Poland because they've been here for a long time, and they feel like they want to go back home, and life could be good in Poland as well, because Poland has changed a lot in the last 10 years. But as you said, Cuba went even from bad to even worse in last 3 years. So it's different, completely different perspective, because for you, like coming here to the US and the fact that you can open your own company and just go and start making money the next day. The thing that everyone is hearing about US, like the land of opportunities and everything, you know, and you're showing that you can make that happen. You are a great example of someone who was ready to come here, and you know why you're coming here and why are you coming here. Because look, yesterday we went to the restaurant, right? And there were like 15 people working there, everyone from Cuba, no one spoke English.
I'm always thinking in long term. I'm a long term guy. Actually, you know what you're able to do, just go for it. And what the problem with the Cubans, don't get me wrong, I love my people, but the problem with the Cubans is they come here, they go to a restaurant, they get paid like $15 an hour. They buy the last car, and they get a fancy house, and they think that's the American dream. The problem with that is that you're gonna have like this of debt. If you get a credit card for $10,000 and you're not even making like $5,000 a month, why are you gonna be spending that much? And people, they don't think about that. They're like, oh, this is money. This is not your money.
It's easy to like just go crazy. You're coming here, you see all the opportunities, you can get a credit card, then you're just buying everything like crazy.
America's made for spending money. Like if you don't know how to control yourself, your money, you waste it all.
It's crazy that you already have this kind of thoughts just after being here for 3-4 months, man. I really like the story of yours, because I told you that many years ago, 7 years ago, I started in Vail in Colorado making like $7, $6, $7, $8 an hour. And then after 3 months, 4 months of being there in total, I was making like $50, $60, $80 an hour, sometimes when I was just lucky because we were doing the events and everything. But in the meantime, I also got like 2 or 3 promotions in the restaurant. I had another job at the cinema that was already paying me like, you know, like $11, $12. And a lot of people got there, started with $6.75, and 4 months later, they ended with $6.75. But for me, I knew that I'm here to make money because I want to go to Australia and I need a lot of money and everything, right? So it's crazy to see that it shows that it is possible.
It is actually. The only problem that people don't have plans. They don't plan. They don't think in long term. They don't know what they're gonna do.
Would you say that this is like a beginning of a new life for you?
100%. 100%. Actually, I changed the name of my channel because I know or expected that this is going to be hard. So the new name is Hustler, because you got to hustle a lot. So all this process is going to be documented. Of course, I'm not going to be at the office working like, hey guys, bored. No, of course not. But I'm going to try to show the process, like how I got here, all the things that I got, all the plans that I had and I have. So you can make it happen if you want. You met me because I was creating content about Cuba, right? But something you don't know, when I got that job as a tour guide, a friend of mine, Shayla, she told me, hey, Alex, there's a person looking for tour guides. Do you speak English? And I was like, yes. Bro, I was like, Indio yo mapache. Indio yo mapache in the Cuban Spanish is like, you don't speak a shit. I was like, what's your name? I was like, my name is Hale. You know, not even a word. But the guy was like, okay, you're hired. I was like, oh yeah. I got the job. And then when I saw myself, I'm gonna start like speaking English now.
When was that?
2019.
5 years ago. And you got to this level of English. I mean, your English was as good as today, 3 years ago. So you learned English so well in what, like 2 years?
When you practice it with a tourist, you're speaking English all the time.
Estoy aprendiendo español por 5 años y no puedo decir nada.
But you don't practice it, bro. You have to practice it. And actually your accent is really good.
I think this kind of mentality is the mentality that the US is made for, you know? Like if you do that and, man, like, I don't know, you have great goals and you have great ideas. I know that you're gonna be the guy that's gonna make it, like 100%.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Seriously.
My first goal, family-wise, is bring my mother. My girlfriend is on the way, so probably she's gonna be here in December, hopefully. So we're gonna be together. We're gonna be like working together. It's gonna be different because right now it's all by myself. And then my mom, I'm gonna do whatever I can to bring her. My puppies, I have 2 puppies. My friends, I have friends in Cuba. But to be honest, I don't know if I'm coming back. But it's gonna be tough for me to go to Cuba and say hey to my friends when I know that I'm doing great and they are in the same fucking position. It's my mom, bro. It's like when you go to a restaurant, like going out here is like an everyday, and in Cuba there's a luxury. So when I go out and spend $50, or you go to the pharmacy and you see that you have whatever you need, and my mom is calling me, hey, I need vitamin C, pair of shoes, or I need whatever. Sometimes I'm like,
Here you go to Walmart, you get everything.
bro, Amazon next day. She deserves having a good life. So I'm working hard for her. So once she's here, she's gonna be like, what do you want? What do you want? Just say it. Yeah.
That's some, very good goals to have.
It was a great conversation.
I think we should find some restroom, right? I'm just gonna pee my pants in a second.
You want coffee?
Let's do that.
Let's go. I wanna talk to this guy, bro.
Give me the microphone, brother.